Breaking in right now with a live pursuit for you here. Let's get to Desmond Shaw live in Skyco as quickly as we can. Desmond, what are we looking at right now?
We are on the kind of on the border of El Segundo and Manhattan Beach here as we are eastbound on Rosecrans. This is a pursuit that came out of the South LA area with LAPD's 77th Division. This is a known felony suspect, and we're now hearing that this is a robbery suspect driving this Mercedes. Not sure on the model yet if it's a C-Class or an E-Class perhaps, but definitely a capable car right here and some crazy driving. Check this out, up to 50 miles an hour right now on these slow or pretty crowded streets, I got to say, as we're now southbound on Sepulveda. It was just down off of Vista Del Mar, headed towards Manhattan Beach, which could have been really, really scary with a lot of folks out there walking around on those narrow streets, but now back out onto a major street here. So this is still LAPD involved in this. You see their helicopter overhead. They've been trying to get some units into place in this. They actually backed off because it was getting so dangerous, but it sounds like they're going to be re-engaging, and so they're trying to get some units in place here to see what they can do, but a pretty dangerous pursuit here headed into the South Bay. Gio and Mike.
Yeah, Desmond, one of the things noticing here, just as this suspect's car is picking up significant speed, you already pointed this out and noting just how crowded it is traffic-wise, and you see every type of thing that this person could potentially be running into. It is incredibly dangerous, concerning. We've mentioned all day, too, that, you know, you're in the midst of holiday travel as well, and it certainly jumps to the top of your mind in terms of concern.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, really just outrageous here. I mean, I think we saw almost 100 miles an hour at one point with this. And, ooh, again, just getting really, really close to those vehicles. Kind of surprised he hasn't already gotten in a collision at this point. We're also dealing with some weather right now, and because of their helicopter overhead as well, it's going to be kind of challenging for us to keep up. Oh, boy, almost kind of fishtailing and losing control right there. But, again, we are dealing with definitely a capable vehicle here. It looks like maybe the upper end of the Mercedes lineup, whichever one this is, probably a pretty powerful V8 engine. 85 miles an hour right now, southbound Sepulveda. And just really afraid that this guy is going to lose control. This is going to end badly.
Yeah, the other thing there, Des, too, as you were talking, is that we saw the vehicle veer off to the opposite side of the road, the wrong side of the road there as well, going against traffic. And, I mean, it is striking to see here because just so many cars and really coming up from behind, too. You're not noticing if you're somebody else on that road going at the approximate speed limit there to see something zooming by you at potentially 100 miles an hour is absolutely frightening. And it looks like they're just getting to see across the top of the buildings. I mean, you're sort of clenched, waiting, and obviously now you see a police vehicle there just briefly at the bottom of your screen. So we'll see if the engagement comes in here soon, but you have to imagine for officers it's also difficult seeing that this is a particularly crowded area where this suspect is right now.
Yeah, just really insane. I mean, you saw blowing through those red lights, not even slowing down at all, not even tapping on the brake pedal. And we're having to give some distance here to LAPD's helicopter overhead. We don't have the room to get on top because of the clouds as they make this southbound turn now. We're right down by the Redondo Beach Marina, I believe, here where we're off of Pacific Coast Highway. So you see their spotlight. We'll try to keep the shot here, but, you know, liable to run into a dead end or something down into this kind of resort community. So you can see LAPD doing a really great job with this spotlight. They've been, you know, definitely alerting the different South Bay police agencies here, probably talking to Torrance now, but also Manhattan Beach, Redondo Beach, just letting everyone know what's going on in their jurisdiction right now as we're out on Ardmore Avenue, that street that has the really big median right here. But this is, you know, a street with just maybe a 25 or 30 mile an hour speed limit and just driving like an absolute lunatic out here. Headed back now towards the coast on 8th Street, 8th away from a valley. We'll see what their next move is, but all the streets over here as we get closer to the coast, they are really narrow. You can have a lot of people out here walking around, so extremely dangerous combination.
And just to circle back, too, in case, you know, we have viewers checking in these last few moments, the want here right now is that this is a suspect wanted for a robbery. And LAPD is chasing after this suspect right now, started westbound on the 105 and now looking at him here in South Bay Cities. And Des, you made that point there about how at one point in the traffic, then they veered off right, made a tight turn, and then almost looked like they were circling back, and kind of hard to tell what direction they seem to be going or whether it's buying some sort of time. I mean, who knows? But that spotlight has not lost track of this vehicle throughout the entirety of since you popped up.
No, they've been doing a really fantastic job keeping up with this right now. The tactical flight officer there who is in control of that spotlight and calling out all of the streets to the different LAPD units that have been involved in this pursuit. And you can see there is a unit back there. So, yeah, we're basically right by the Redondo Harbor right now, I think. And again, this shot, you see there, I believe the power plant right there in the distance. So there's the ship right there. We just have to give them some distance. And again, because we are dealing with some clouds, we can't get on top of them right now. It's also pretty tricky airspace here on the border of Torrance Airport. So you see they've got the ground units now. They are definitely back in on this. It looks like they're trying to get pretty aggressive with reacquiring this pursuit. So it would just help for us if they would be able to get back off of the coast. But down here near busy resort area, holiday weekend, it's just a very, very dangerous combination of a lot of things going on.
Yeah, people walking around. It's that time of the year, obviously, where you're with family, and whether you're in the car going back home or leaving your destination to return back to where you were coming from, you worry about anybody that could be on the street, especially as when we were noticing how fast that vehicle was going when it was surrounded by traffic, and you had the officers' units sort of backed off and waiting to re-engage. But
so it's tricky for the news helicopters. They have no room because of the clouds and the aviation, LAX's airspace.
Zooming to the point now
but I know the news helicopters,
the only way it seemed to really slow down was
but
really
the
to get out of the ways of other cars, but this right here, this exact shot is what we were citing just about 10 minutes ago, in that it was at one point going on the opposite side of the road against traffic.
There was just citing about 5 or 10 minutes ago.
Diverting itself
there was a head-on collision.
In and out
there was
of
a dead because
that are
it was being at 95 miles an hour.
Or rather, just
earlier on, news
moving
helicopters,
through these areas where anybody
overhead.
could
He was reaching
be
speeds at about
on a
50 to
street
60 miles
corner
an hour.
walking around. But there, right there, this is the closest we've seen, Des, of a patrol vehicle as close to that suspect's vehicle.
They were being held back because the news helicopters knew that ladder and the airspace.
Performance isn't
their own jurisdictions, 25 to 30 mile an hour speed limit. Driving extremely dangerous. Wanted for a robbery.
40% of the index.
Excuse me, get out of here, advertisements. Don't interrupt me, okay?
Yeah, they are definitely.
So this was the suspect, the robbery suspect at the 2017 to 2018 Mercedes-Benz E-Class that I uploaded the 2008 E-Class.
This was a lesser.
Check it out, man. My YouTube channel.
This was just a stolen vehicle or just suspected. Oh, you can see some damage.
Thank you guys for commenting on that Chicago police
so there has already been at least one minor collision with some other innocent
for the better part of an hour and a half.
Onto the wrong side of the road. I mean, it's possible that LAPD may just let this go because it is so dangerous. But these are dangerous people we're talking about.
But no, but the dangerous people we're talking about, they're talking about fake robbery suspects.
Oh my goodness!
They just want to get them off the road. How could these cops take them?
Wrong side of the road, and look at this.
Wrong side of the road.
All this traffic.
Oh my God! He's almost losing control. He did not get into a collision. Almost, he was so close. But this suspect is about 70, 80 miles an hour.
Just how much traffic is out here.
He's driving very erratically. He's gonna end up killing somebody if he continues on. It's a red light. I mean, but you're definitely seeing the capability of this car. What I mean, the police department is getting involved. You see other units, what they're seeing, that stuff that they try to pick up the pursuit. Now that the chase is being called off for safety reasons because of that traffic, because this pursuit is getting dangerous of that.
The way it's trending right now.
And Gio, just really quick, I mean, just to Desmond's
really
point,
quick,
they're chasing this guy hard as he's trading paint there with another car.
Now I'm saying that death in our spotlight
Charles. That means it's a
overhead.
known felony suspect.
This is a known felony robbery
to be a
suspect.
robbery that maybe happened in the last couple of hours.
This is the robbery that happened in the last couple of hours. This is somebody by they ran those plates on that car.
So
the plate came back saying this guy has been involved in this previous robbery. They have a lot more information about the alleged robbery. What led up to this? They're not even in the jurisdiction. But the LAPD helicopter in tracking mode are keeping up.
They have not wanted to let this go.
Let's have this go into tracking mode.
Very potentially dangerous people.
Very potentially dangerous people. They're running like they're dangerous. But the LAPD helicopters following overhead, chasing the damage on that side of that car is 2017 Mercedes-Benz E-Class.
Afraid necessarily of
they're not
potentially getting
afraid.
into danger there.
Potentially getting into danger there.
To be almost tempting fate with the amount of close calls we've seen in just the last 10 minutes.
But all those
making a right turn or making a left turn and weaving in and out of traffic, driving on the opposite side of the road.
By the news helicopters and police helicopters watching this on
Mercedes.
TV. They've been following that suspect for about the last 10 or 15 minutes.
And also, as we're back on the wrong side of the road, which is so incredibly
dangerous. And you would see that driver going on the wrong side of the road like he did moments ago.
So they likely know who the registered owner is. They likely know the suspects that are inside, which could give a whole other, if we go back on the right side of the road here on Artesia Boulevard, could give them a whole other set of scenarios as to why they don't want
he's going to be heading towards the 91 freeway, 60 to 70 miles an hour, but they're not going to stop chasing this car. It's hard to chase the robbery suspect because of that pursuit. It's very dangerous because it's a full-blown pursuit, because they have to back off, because they're called off into safety reasons, when to chase or when not to chase. They're struggling to keep up with that suspect. Every time the police car tries to make a pursuit,
to go through that intersection.
He goes fast. He almost got T-boned.
Obviously, have their lights and sirens on. Hopefully, people get out of the way. But they're not going to make the maneuvers that this guy is making, which is putting everybody in such danger.
I want to learn how to obey speed limits and laws and regulations that requires that state. But the LAPD right behind.
Look out for that spotlight. Look out for the police.
Look out for that spotlight. Look out for a police light behind that, cognizant of what's going on down there, because this guy is driving very, very crazy. Because I never know. He noticed several people standing on the sidewalk.
To get from people who are either watching on television or perhaps in their own neighborhood, they step out and want to see it. And again, this right here is
he's losing control.
Concern because we've
if
seen
it enters
that exact
into
image
405
multiple
freeway,
times.
it's going to be a TFR,
obviously, you increase and Desmond, you increase the risk because you're introducing more variables. So every opportunity,
I'm reading some closed captions right now, so I'm going to start reading those closed captions. God forbid, running into somebody, a collision, just a plate. He is not
necessarily putting themselves in a safe position, and then that goes to
necessarily putting themselves in a situation, but who they go to LAPD who's chasing behind, because they are not also going to put themselves in this position.
Right, and they obviously have no regard for their own safety or anyone else's safety at this point. I mean,
trying to get through, but they got traffic up ahead. These pursuits on TV, everything. It's all unfolded live on television, all across the state, across the country.
I want to ask Des, did we lose the night sun,
Des? There's a pickup. They pick up the chase.
No, it's still there. I think
there's a unit.
Night sun is still there, and I think they're just having some. They're right behind him. Wow, he's about to. Oh my God! Losing control. He's doing some drifty lane maneuvers. He's gonna lose control if he continues to hit the brake or go fast. He's at about 92 miles an hour.
The speeds were kind of low there, but still just absolutely.
Speeds were kind of low just a few seconds ago.
What we're seeing here. And you see like some smoke coming from this vehicle occasionally. I think if that's
smoke coming from that vehicle. It was just a couple minutes ago, and this pursuit has been going on for about 15 minutes. And you see the driver now hitting the brakes again. The news helicopters had to hold back because they're still trying to determine what model. As I'm saying, it's a 2017 Mercedes-Benz C-Class or E-Class. The 2014 T300 was redesigned because the 2010 model year of that.
So far, as we're starting to see
objection of that C-Class that I uploaded on my YouTube channel.
Now,
check it out. You want to check it out. 70 to 80 miles an hour on Western Avenue. It's just
insane danger out here.
Insane danger driving.
Almost making our way to where
making their way to the 91 freeway. Where Artesia Boulevard turns into the 91 freeway. Just crossed underneath the 91 freeway just 8 minutes ago.
That spotlight has not lost track.
Certainly, the spotlight has not lost track of that vehicle.
Continues this pursuit. They are maintaining
out as the LAPD continues this pursuit. They are maintaining
just right there.
Steady on this suspect.
Hot.
But they right there. The brakes are right there, hitting the brakes. If he continues to start slamming on the brakes, Jesus Christ, what would happen? He could hit the brakes. It's going to have wheel lock up and have issues with the wheel locking. It's going to. The ABS prevents the wheels from locking up. As you can see, approaching for the past 5 minutes.
Robbery suspect. This is a known robbery suspect. LAPD wanted for robbery. Started westbound on the 105.
This guy is trying to speed up, but you can't control the people. What's in front of you? He's weaving in and out of traffic on the 405 southbound freeway. He's speeding up, and it's right down. Oh my God! Still using a turn blinker. Why didn't he just use the turn blinker by turning right?
We've noted several people on the side of the street.
We know that they've noted several people on the sidewalk just
a bit of more open space.
Just a few minutes ago, they're dealing with some airspace overhead.
And I think
they have to give a room for the
I thought we were going north.
Just a little. So they're going south.
We'll be able to follow this. If we went north,
they'll be able to follow this. If they went north, they've had LAX
surface streets was fast, and now he is just like really pinning it on the freeway.
Flight restricted areas.
Yeah, I mean,
fast, but
sure
they're pinning on it on the freeway. I'm just not sure if this is better or worse. I mean, it's the same direction. It just kind of gives them
even harder
some opportunity to slam on the gas pedal, brake pedal, even harder and harder and harder. He's at about 120 to 130 miles an hour.
Our way through the South Bay. We'll see how these clouds.
The South Bay. We'll see how clouds, if they're hopefully, if they would have. If they'd have entered the LAX into a flight restricted areas, it would be complicated on the surface streets because of that. We have that robbery pursuit almost 3 months ago on my YouTube channel, the carjacking robbery pursuit that led up to 2 carjackings. You want to check out that video? Please check out the part 1, part 2. Video pops up here.
Still a very dangerous situation, even though at least we have traffic all going the same way.
And this is one of those situations here where, again, there's that turn
one of the situations from using the turn breaker. Now they're having to hold back because of that airspace, the temporary flight restricted area, TFA,
it was
and
on
LAX
streets or now
airspace. This has been going on for the last. This has been going on for about 25 minutes.
In and out,
the suspect has been weaving in and out, slamming on the gas, almost losing control, doing some drinking trip side streets. There was almost the damage to that passenger side, that right rear
suspect that very clearly has no regard for his own
safety. This was a suspect very clear, has no regards for his own safety. He's driving with no concern with life or limb. Is he crazy? Driving erratic?
So you essentially have the playbook.
They believe to be armed. It's a constant day.
For sure.
This is a playbook on this specifically. If they're police helicopters, if there was units, maybe the suspect would not be aggressive.
You know what?
Maybe
we got the plate on this. We know where this guy lives. We're going to catch up.
They would wish that this suspect
would have not been. Maybe the suspect. They want to catch him now, which
should not be aggressive.
That there are some
maybe he would not be aggressive. He would have not been aggressive if they would follow him at this slow speed at 75, 80 miles an hour. If they could get some more details about this alleged robbery,
again, the car,
when it happened, all of those things. Again, the car, as far as
which means they know who at least the registered owner is,
have not come back stolen. That belongs to that suspect.
Inside, and what that person might
good
be
idea who's inside,
what
the person might be accused,
and what that robbery was is all still details that we're trying to sort out.
Robbery, all details. He almost lost control, and I'm told the
another fake money app
as well. We'll be back in a moment.
Get paid instantly.
Get out of here.
Cash out.
Welcome back, everybody.
Really, really wild speeds here.
Really
as we
wild
go southbound on the 405. We'll be approaching, kind of the Carson, going through the Carson area
that we've seen
right now.
132 miles an hour.
The speeds are just really incredible. And as you see Sky Cal Shot kind of get back there, because of 2 reasons. We're dealing with some weather.
2 reasons.
And also trying to allow the LAPD helicopter to have as much space as they need to conduct their operation. But he's going really fast. So Des is going to try to work on reacquiring that shot.
Maybe it's that time of season because of the weather. He's transitioning onto that freeway exiting towards San Diego.
But dealing with a lot up there, and they're doing a great job.
Dealing with a lot up there, it's like
this guy
clouds.
is cruising.
And Mike, I have a question for you. First, I want to get to Desmond and Jim, because we're noticing on the camera here.
There's going to be so much traffic overhead.
Clouds, there's weather. How is that impacting you guys up there, and how could that potentially impact the LAPD chopper as well? Because you know, and you noted that you're trying to give them space as well to operate freely.
They stated to operate.
Yeah, I mean, we're all just kind of bunched up a little bit. I mean, that's why we kind of have to keep this.
So I'm going to let you listen for a minute, okay?
Allow
for a couple of minutes, we might
in the front of that. As boy, we keep with that. You see the fog. It's that's not the right vehicle. Well, now we've got I've got the position lights, like Mike just said, kind of bouncing off the fog. We do have unfortunately, visibility is a little bit lower than it was when we first got on this pursuit. And you're just kind of seeing everything that we're dealing with right now. So LAPDs, see if we can reacquire that vehicle with the spotlight. I mean, I see them overhead, but we just heard that they lost it as well.
Wow,
we're hearing up here, and that's there. You can see them frantically looking around. It seems like we all kind of lost it at the same time. You know, we're in Long Beach's airspace now, trying to communicate safely with them. There's other aircraft up here. We've got lower visibility as well, and a suspect that's just so desperate to escape, and they're trying to reacquire this vehicle, but all of a sudden kind of in the dark, and this is exactly what you didn't want to see. And no, I don't think. Wardlow and 34th is what we're hearing now. Maybe one of the ground units has it. Let me just throw it back to you guys here for a second while I try to reacquire this vehicle.
And Mike, what I was going to ask you as we, excuse me, as we allow SkyCal to reset and Desmond to reset and try and find this vehicle, is that what we notice is that from the location where this pursuit started to then jumping there and getting on the 405, how does that potentially impact? Go ahead.
Sorry, really quick. They're out. They're out of the car at Wardlow and 34th. Desmond's going to look for that right now. We've been obviously talking about that issue, but there's Wardlow, and then I don't know if it crosses 34th, Des, or where exactly that is, but we just heard that they may have foot bailed.
Do we know if it was just one person or multiple suspects at it?
Well, that's what I'm trying to, let's see. Wardlow and Pacific, Des, too, as well. That's kind of that intersection on the left side of the screen there. So somebody's got eyes on them, and hopefully we'll start to see some units. Oh, I think go left, Des. And it's 2 people out on foot, by the way.
2 people.
And it may be in there's the spotlight, so we'll see if we can catch them running or see where the spotlight's exactly looking at. But, that's the problem. And usually we see this when LAPD goes into tracking mode and they don't have any units close behind. That's not what happened here. This was a good old-fashioned, that car outperformed the cops. Yeah. And the weather didn't help at all. And now we're in a situation where they got enough leeway on those cops. That's the abandoned car right there, sitting in the middle of the intersection. So that's where they ditched it, and that's where they got.
Okay.
Is that a different car, Des? What's happening there?
No, yeah, this is a different vehicle. I wonder if maybe they got hit by that or something. But my pilot, unfortunately, is telling me that we have to get out of here. I think it's just starting to get a little bit too dicey as far as the low clouds go. Very unfortunate, but at least breathing a little easier, knowing that the suspects are out and no longer driving like total maniacs and endangering people's lives.
Certainly, when you consider especially that vehicle and how fast it was going, there's at least some silver lining in the fact that the car has stopped and those suspects are out. But once again, 2 suspects were told jumping out of that vehicle after a lengthy pursuit. Video from earlier there on the right side of your screen when we were highlighting just the dangerous pattern of weaving through traffic, driving on the wrong side of the road. Once again, these were suspects wanted for robbery. LAPD started that chase, and eventually that chase continued onto the 405 before a variety of factors such as wind, or rather fog, weather, complicating things.
We'll be right back after
continuing
this.
Looking for the suspects. We'll continue to keep an eye on this, monitor it for you.
34th Street and Golden in Long Beach. You see the
Well, hello guys. We are finished, not finished. Yes, there's a suspect that was bailed out of the car just a few minutes ago. As long as you need that son, the driver
abandoned the vehicle.
The victim of that driver was hurt, and that car had been abandoned for about the last couple of minutes. And that son overheard from the LAPD helicopter. There's 31 and 31st and 34th, which is the residential area that they heard that they abandoned the vehicle near the apartment complex, started running, so they needed that overhead. Harrison is giving the description of that vehicle to help the ground unit locate and what of that vehicle, of the individuals to help that ground unit to locate them when they arrive on the scene. You can see it's 2 large apartment buildings, 3-story, 10-story window, 2-car window, and like.
Get on the phone with Bill Preciado. He's a retired.
But he was underrun just a moment ago, speeding up 130 miles an hour. If that LAPD and the CHP would have been chasing, maybe the suspect would have not been.
Apparently,
maybe he would have
started left the car, parked somewhere near these 2 apartment buildings, then started running.
He would have not been.
Abandoned that car around 34 and
he wouldn't be aggressive.
What's the game plan here?
Maybe he would slow down at 60 until they follow him, until they do a spike strip. And I'm going to read all of this up quickly. The suspect driving on the southbound 405. To their opinion, he was almost close to hitting those cars. They couldn't follow much longer because of the clouds and the restricted airspace. The suspect was driving at 130 miles an hour on the southbound 405 freeway, and at 120 miles an hour, almost killing somebody, crashing into some commuters. And the commuters were coming home on the holiday Christmas vacation. location just in time for the New Year's Eve and day. Because of that, low clouds,
is that the suspect that police are looking
and
for?
the suspect, several,
So at this
and a few
point, we
suspects
know that this man
bailed out
matches
of
the
the
suspect
car.
description based off of the clothing that we are hearing come
Description
across
of the
the
clothing.
police scanner. So
Based
you
off
saw
of
the
that
nights on him
clothing
there
that they're hearing,
momentarily, and now he
come across
jumps
for the
between
police
homes
scanner.
here.
They saw
We're
the
not
night
far
shot on
though.
him.
We're
They're
at
not
33
far
and
though.
Golden, so we're
Now
just
they
about a
have
block
jumped
away
between
from
homes
where the driver abandoned
there.
that vehicle and took
Not
off
far,
running.
33
But the
and
man that we
Golden.
saw is wearing
34
what appears to
and
be
Golden, where the
a
driver
gray
abandoned
tracksuit. You
that
see him there,
car.
yep,
He
right
was the
under
one
the
that's
night sun
driving.
there. So he's
It
continuing to
happened
work
over
his
a
way
year
here through
ago.
homes. He seems to be
Right under the
familiar with
night
this
sun.
area. He was
So he's
speaking
continuing
to
to work
a
his way
woman
here
just
through
about a
those
minute
homes.
ago
Maybe
who's
he's
wearing a
going to go
blue
home,
top,
or he's
and
going
she
for a walk
was
for a
at the
while.
location
Speaking
where
to a woman
the
just a
driver
minute
had
ago,
abandoned
just
the
2 minutes
vehicle. So
ago,
this could
and
be
he was
an area
wearing
where
blue
he
top. She was
lives.
at the
Perhaps a
location where
friend
the driver had
lives here,
abandoned that
but
vehicle. So
this
this
man
could have
was
been an
seen
area where
running,
he lives,
which of
a
course
friend lives here,
drew the
or a
officers' attention
boyfriend,
in the
or a girl,
helicopter.
or
So at this point, they
or
are
a
saying that this
boyfriend,
man
or a
matches the
girlfriend, or an
description of
ex-girlfriend
the
lives
person
here,
who
or
was in that
someone,
vehicle.
the family
And it
members
looks
live
like
here, and
he's
that
holding
this man
something. Is that a cell
matches the
phone that he's
description of the
holding?
person
Jumping
and
over
who was in
fences
the
here.
vehicle. You know, it
Yeah, I
looks
think
like
he was holding a cell phone.
that's a
Hopefully
cell
that's all it
phone.
is and
Holding
nothing
a
more
cell phone,
dangerous.
talking on
But
the
he
phone
just took
while
a
running
spill
from the
there,
police.
climbing that wall. So he's still
Climbing
working
that wall, nothing more
the
dangerous.
backyards
The
here of these
dangerous
homes
pursuit
in
robbery
Long Beach,
police
just
chase
off
had
of
come to an
34th
end.
and Golden. For a second, he
That's
was over
one
at
suspect, I'm
33 and Golden.
assuming.
But you see the
Now there's a
officers
police
starting to
cruiser
arrive on
undercover,
scene.
or
The
a
night
marked
sun
police
still
car
firmly
coming in.
overhead where that man
There,
was last
said, hey,
located. So
well,
what
let's
they're
wear
going
a
to do here
sample.
is they're going to
Anybody
set up a
give it up, put
perimeter.
your hands,
The officers aren't
and
really in
cooperate,
a
follow
rush
instructions.
necessarily to take this guy into custody. They can set up a
Now he's going to
perimeter
cooperate.
and make sure that everything is secure, and then move in
Everything
possibly
is
with a
secure,
shield or
and
a
they can
police
set up a
canine to
perimeter
try to take
and
this
make sure that
individual into
everything is
custody.
secure. But
At this
pretend
point,
I'm
he
the
appears
news
to be
reporter.
hiding under an
They're
RV.
using a
Okay,
shield or
so
a police
I did
canine
see him
to
go
try to
under
take this
something. Wasn't sure
individual
what
into
that is
police
exactly.
custody.
So
He's
at this
holding
point,
under
yes,
an
this would be a
RV.
great moment for
They did
officers
see
to
him go
use to
under
bring out
something.
those
They wasn't
canines
sure what that exactly that at this
and look
point
for
they would
him.
be a great moment for officers
Yeah,
to use
exactly. And
to bring out
they,
those
of course,
canines
have the vehicle.
and
They
look
are
for
going to
that
clear that,
suspect,
and they
whether
can
it's a
always
male
get the
or a
man
female. They
sent from the
of course
vehicle
have that
and try to
vehicle.
track him
They
down
are
that
going
way
to
using the
clear
dogs.
that,
So
and
officers really
they
do
could always
have
get
some
the man
options
sent
here,
from the
but
vehicle. They
the
try
best
to
thing they
track him
can do
down
is
that
simply
way
just set up a
using his
perimeter
dog.
here
So
in the
officers
area.
really
Again, 34th
have
and
the
Golden,
options. What the best thing
33
that they can do is
and
simply
Golden as
set up a
well,
perimeter
and
here in the
just
area.
try to get this
Again,
guy to stay hunkered
34th and
down, and then they
Golden,
can move
33
in for
and
the
Golden as
arrest.
well.
I
The
did hear
pursuit
them
went on for the
mention
better part of an hour.
Norton
And
360 scans nearby
I'm
Wi-Fi
going to get out of
networks
the
and
advertisement.
alerts
I'll
you to
wait for a
potentially
second.
harmful.
The pursuit
All right,
had been going on for about 20 to
okay,
30. The
we
pursuit
lost
went on for
Eliana, but
about.
we have
The
Bill from
pursuit went
Seattle. We're
on
going
for
to go back
about.
to you, Bill. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Eliana's absolutely correct. The best
The
thing is
pursuit
officers have time
went
on their
on for
hands.
about
The
20 to
unit has a
30
visual on the
minutes.
suspect,
The police started his
and
chase.
they're in the process
They're
of setting
into
up
an
a perimeter. Once
hour-long
that
pursuit.
perimeter
That went on for
is
about 40
contained,
minutes.
they
And the
will
40, this went on for
decide
about
to either use a
45 to
canine
50 minutes.
as they
This went on
start
for the
narrowing in
better
on the
part of
searches.
about
We
half
saw
an
on that
hour,
camera. He went
almost close.
underneath.
The pursuit went on for the last
some sort of
20. The pursuit went on for the last 20 minutes
unit to the
or
back of
so
this particular
since the
unit.
police
So
started his chase.
time is definitely on the
They are
officer's
still
hands.
overhead.
The
It's going to be a
sergeant is going to
standoff.
be
It's not going
coordinating
to be a
with the ground
standoff
units. They're just
much
set up at
longer,
certain
but I'm going to let you
locations
listen
and
now.
hold those locations until they decide that they're going to make an approach either with a canine or with a group of officers.
You know, so we're seeing this is a residential area. What do you want residents to know? What do you want the people to know that live right there?
Well, to obviously stay within their dwellings, do not answer the door, just be aware that there is a suspect in the immediate vicinity and that there is a lot of police activity outside. If they have information that may assist the locals, by all means dial 911 and give that information. Sometimes it may not be visual to us, but if he's making his way through underground and not visible to the air unit or to the ground units, we're going to need that information. So those 911 calls are very important to the local PDs when they're setting up these perimeters.
I mean, how long could something like this last, Bill?
Well, it depends. depends. Personal experience, we've been out there a couple hours at times. It depends on how dangerous the approach is for the officers, the resources that are available to these ground units. It's always best to have a canine available, but those are far and few in between sometimes, and we have to wait for them to respond. So the best thing for these units to do is to set that perimeter, maintain it. They've got an area right now where they're all coordinating, so once those units are all set up, they will formulate a game plan with a group of officers or with a canine to start making their approach. And obviously, they're going to give them warning through the audible PA systems that he should come out with his hands up and give himself up before any entry is given.
You know, we saw when we first noticed that this person was in the area running, it seemed to me that there was a child that approached him. Does that, I mean, I don't know if you noticed that or not, but it just makes me wonder that this driver, this person, the suspect, lives in this particular area, or is at least familiar with that area.
Yes, I saw that tail end of that approach with a female, I believe it was. But a lot of times they do return to an area that they're familiar with, or they're communicating with somebody via telephone, letting them know that they may be coming into that area. They may need a place to hide because they're in hot pursuit from the police. But sometimes, and a lot of times, we use that as an additional charge for whoever is going to be harboring these individuals, because that is harboring a fugitive, depending on what the charges are that are awaiting this individual.
So we're seeing this perimeter here. I mean, it's pretty big. I'd say it's about a block or so, Bill?
Yeah, it looks like a good square block there. They've got them pretty much squared down with the assistance of that air unit. That air unit is equipped with night vision, so it is going to pick up heat from the individual, and that individual was obviously running, so he is going to be radiating sufficient heat to keep track by the air unit, and that's going to coordinate with the ground units to zero in on that particular area to the rear portion of this residence here.
All right, and again, if anybody is just joining us right now, this is, we were following a pursuit. The driver stopped here, abandoned the vehicle on 34 and Golden, and now is underneath an RV. It's some type of RV unit. Police have set up a perimeter, and we're going to now head to Eliana Moreno. She's live in News Chopper 4. Eliana, what are you hearing?
Annabelle, and that perimeter is set up on 33 and Golden and 34th and Golden. So that's where we're seeing all of the LAPD officers, and the night sun is still firmly focused on where it last saw that man in the gray tracksuit. We saw him hiding under an RV, but you remember we showed you a woman in a blue top. The LAPD is also looking for her. They believe she may have been the passenger in the vehicle and may have been involved in the original crime that led to the pursuit. So she's not getting away. They're trying to locate her right now. From what I'm hearing, they do have a good idea of where she may be as well. So there's still 2 people outstanding as part of this high-speed pursuit that made its way all the way from downtown down to Long Beach.
Yeah, so we did see some type of interaction with a woman. It seems to me, I mean, much smaller. It seemed like a child at first, but now we're hearing that, yes, it was a woman. And so do we believe that that person was in the vehicle with the suspect then?
Correct, yeah. At least over the scanner, the LAPD airship is describing her as the passenger, and they said, we need to get her because she was involved in the original crime, which is what led to this high-speed chase to begin with. So even though the airship continued to track the male, who they believed was the driver, they are still trying to take her into custody as well.
All right, so again, we're seeing this perimeter set up, a square block here. You can clearly see it. I mean, this is very concerning for anybody who lives in this neighborhood, who lives around 33, 34 and Golden. Very concerning. We heard from Bill Preciado, retired CHP officer, you know, just pretty much saying, if you live in this neighborhood, lock your doors, don't open the doors.
Well, I was hearing all of this.
And just
the person was climbing underneath the RV. Meanwhile, CHP officer was on the phone. Perimeter set up with the assistance of the air unit. Perimeter set up went on for about 10 minutes or so, maybe a little longer. There was talk that K9 could be used to sniff out the suspect.
Yeah, exactly. And
the LAPD officers on the scene still. The woman at that blue top that's out.
Pretty much know where he's at. We saw him go under that RV, which we're zooming in on now. So you see that team of officers assembling. What they'll do is they'll make call outs to a man to see if he voluntarily will come out. If he doesn't, then they could approach with a shield. They could approach with a K9.
The woman at that blue top looking for that female is the officers.
So they really have a lot of options at their disposal. And they, of course, know what was involved in that original crime, which we believe was a felony robbery.
About 90 miles an hour.
So they know whether or not
72 miles an hour, which was involved in that crime. It was a felony robbery, so they was whether or not they used that in a crime.
Robbery.
So depending on how the facts would have led up to that chase, led up to that days and almost came close, slamming into that white Volvo SUV, great abundance of caution.
So it looks like
and they'll try to do initially though is to try to convince them is please, I'm not going to listen to that advertisement, but please be aware.
Your device has not been cleaned for 81 days.
If you don't the clean suspect your phone, is running for the police, you see it on TV. It's recorded in 2024, almost a year ago.
It has no ads.
So this police pursuit
memory is easy
came
to
to an
install
end.
and cleans
Please
up
don't try to be a hero.
Don't
try to be involved in that situation.
For half a year.
You don't know what's
With
coming
just one
through.
click, you can
You
delete
might
all
see
the
in your
useless garbage and cache files in your phone. So your phone is the
suspect is
same
behind
as the
you,
new one.
or you might cross. If I was crossed,
yeah, and so moments ago we just had an image there
if I was driving on the freeway.
Earlier
at least he or she is trying to comply. So moments ago, there was a bigger square of earlier footage.
Yes, we
the
see
driver.
Him. And at this point, walking backwards.
It's a male suspect.
Officers may be indicating to do so.
Yeah, they're making those call-outs to him right now.
Call-outs to him right now. He's complying, obeying the police orders. He's cooperating. They're telling him exactly what is they want him to do. Hands up or towards in the air, which is exactly what they want. When they feel comfortable, is that when they will approach and take him into police custody.
So this is some great news here.
So they will take him into custody, and they will search the car if necessary. There's a great news.
Now on the ground.
Great news.
So again, police will
good news
confront
is
this person when they're ready. But Eliana, you were talking about the other person that they're looking for, a woman.
Or his niece. They're already, when they're talking about the other person that was looking for a woman.
She's at. They just haven't approached her
yet. They don't know where she's at. They haven't approached her yet. That is a man, but they're still looking for a female woman suspect that was. They're more concerned about taking him into police custody and taking him into jail. The team of officers is going to be moving in for arrest. Some officers will remain with their guns drawn. The others will handcuff them. And they're trying to ask them know if there anybody else inside that backyard. Before placing him in a squad car. You'll see that officers.
They don't know what.
They don't know if perhaps somebody is down. Going to jump out of this hub. Don't try to confront the suspects. Police do their job. Stay inside your doors.
One person in custody, one
close the doors. Don't answer when there's a doorbell
ringing. Very scary situation there.
There's a doorbell
many people
ringing.
who live in this area. Again, we just want to remind you, yes, there is a lot of activity.
It was a scary situation. That was a close call. He could have ended up causing an accident at all costs for the damage
as well. A retired CHP officer.
So we might
to lock your doors. Don't allow anybody to go inside.
Never allow anybody
stay
to
put.
go
Let
outside.
officers do their job. Again, they are still looking for another suspect. They believe they know where that woman is at, but
as well, I'd find
again, just keep your doors locked while
your doors locked at all times. Still underway.
Thank you very much for that.
So I want to thank the news helicopters, all of these. This is like lots of police cars. This would have been a massacre situation, but I want to thank these people for subscribing to my YouTube channel, and commenting down below on my. I want to thank them for subscribing and commenting down below on that YouTube shorts, and I also want to thank you guys for commenting down below. And that is it. I hope you guys have a great Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, happy Christmas, happy holidays. So I'll see you guys in the next video tomorrow on Sunday and on Monday. In the meantime, thanks for joining us. Everybody, check out that video popped up here. And it came to an end. So I'm Albert.E.Baldwin. I'm Albert.E.Baldwin in the news helicopter overhead. Reporting live in the news helicopter. Check out the video pops up here. Have a great night, have a great weekend. So I'll see you guys in the next video tomorrow on Sunday and on Monday. Wow, so thanks for joining me.
It has no ads, does not occupy memory, it's easy
thank
to
you guys.
install, and cleans up thoroughly. The most important thing is that it can be cleaned once
Good night, everybody.
With just one click.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Files in your phone,
Bye-bye.
so your phone is the same as the new one.